Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about what's going on down south, how the problem might be solved, what Biden's plan is, and in the process, we're going to do a little hip pocket class on troubleshooting logistical issues. Okay, so what's going on? The conditions are bad. Yes, they are. They are bad. We will talk about how bad here in a little bit. But we can't focus on that right now because we want to come up with a solution. Talking about the conditions does not help right now because we're trying to come up with a plan. We're trying to fix it. The conditions are the symptom. The problem is further down the line. So to diagnose the problem, you have to know what the plan was. What's the plan? They get picked up, they're processed within 72 hours, they're out to Health and Human Services, and then they go to their sponsors. That's the plan. There's nothing wrong with that plan. It is a good plan. Plan doesn't need to change. So what's happening? They're not getting processed within 72 hours. That's what's occurring. Because they are not getting processed within 72 hours, there's a backlog, which leads to overcrowding, which leads to bad conditions. So, as weird as it is, right now, we don't want to say fix the conditions. We want to get them processed out faster. Because if you say fix the conditions, what's the government solution? Build more facilities. Who would those facilities be run by more than likely? Contract companies. Once those kids are a stream of revenue, it is over. They will always be a stream of revenue. Can't do that. The goal is to get them processed and over to Health and Human Services and then processed from there and onto their sponsor quickly. Right now, my understanding is that rather than 3 days, it has taken 5 to 8. Doesn't sound like a lot. But if the number you have coming in is more than you have going out, it doesn't take long for it to become an issue. Now, for the record, Biden has already made his decision, and he made the right one. They're bringing in FEMA to assist with processing. That's going to be their primary thing. At least that's what we've been told. If that's the case, then this should sort itself out pretty quickly. He does have another card to play. There are other agencies that can be brought in to help with this. However, optics-wise, it's not something you want. It's not something the Biden administration wants, and most people don't want these other agencies dealing with the kids. So at this point, let's see if this works. Okay, so then the next question is, how bad are the conditions? Bad. They're bad. When I see people talk about this, they say that, it's not as bad as it was under Trump. I mean, yeah, that's true, but that is not a standard. That's not a standard. We can't go by that. But just better than Trump is not good enough in this regard. It is better than Trump. It's actually a lot better than Trump, but it's still bad because Trump's policies were that bad. In this case, the cruelty isn't the point. These aren't kids who were ripped from their parents. These are kids who showed up alone. Goal is to get them processed. If you process them quickly and get them to their sponsors, their friends and family, they will no longer be there taking up a spot. It will no longer be overcrowded. The conditions will by default get better because the poor conditions right now are a result of them being overcrowded. The standard of where it's at right now, it isn't acceptable. Okay, full stop. How do we fix it? This way. Processing. That's got to be the goal. With Trump, it was a little different because he actually wanted to keep them in custody. In this case, the Biden administration doesn't want to. They want them processed and they want them out. It's the right move. So, good news is that he has made the right moves. Okay, so it should work. Bad news is that more than likely, as soon as this happens, there may be a backlog at the next station. And that's where I'm hoping the the Biden administration is thinking ahead, because they weren't here. If you go back and look, and not just at mine, at pretty much anybody's videos who was talking about what happened when the Trump administration stopped processing asylum claims and slowed all of this down and was intentionally not doing what we are obligated to under international law, treaty, and the Constitution, everybody said that as soon as we reopened and did what we were supposed to, there would be a long line. Maybe they just weren't prepared for this particular demographic of unaccompanied minors. It seems like something the Biden administration should have planned for. I'm hoping that they understand that once they're being processed quickly out of Border Patrol, that means they're showing up at Health and Human Services. They're going to be in their realm now. So they're going to have more to process because they're getting them faster than they were before. There's going to be multiple phases to this. We do not have information on whether or not the people from FEMA are coming in to do both. We hope they are. That's the right move. So, is this Biden's fault? No. The long line is Trump's fault. The backlog, yeah, you can lay that at his feet. You can, fairly. I think that somebody on his team should have seen this coming. And it should have been dealt with. Now, is it a mistake? Yeah. Is it a forgivable one? All depends on what happens now. If the problem gets fixed, yeah, it's completely forgivable. It happens. If it doesn't, it's not an oversight, it's apathy. So we just have to wait and see. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.